investigative stories that make a difference. The I-Team.
I certainly have experienced this. Have you ever totaled your car and then it ended up in a junkyard? Well, tonight the I-Team investigates why junkyards are a treasure trove for identity thieves.
A Targ miner went undercover to show us just how easy this type of crime is.
This is just a small portion of what we found in 2 junkyards in Duval and Clay County. What I'm holding in my hand is a copy of someone's actual Social Security card and even their driver's license. And on the back of this paperwork, a PIN number for their banking account. We found credit reports, medical records, banking records, even checkbooks with the routing number still inside that were left behind. The scary thing about this investigation is that anyone could do the exact same thing. 2 hours time.
Driver's license.
2 separate automobile junkyards. Enough information to potentially obtain the identities of 7 different people, all who left their personal information behind after wrecking or selling their car. Social Security numbers, copies of driver's licenses, even hospital discharge paperwork, all containing a plethora of personal information.
I just got some information for you that I found of yours that I wanted to return to you.
That Social Security card and driver's license that we found belongs to this Northside woman.
This is your driver's license.
Where the hell you get that from?
This is your Social Security number.
Where you get that from?
This is all your personal information that you left behind somewhere.
Where? Or did somebody steal it?
You left this behind inside of your Chevy Malibu. On the back of this one, I guess is your PIN numbers.
No. Oh my God, I thought I cleaned that out.
You left your PIN numbers there.
We're only identifying her as Keisha. She says she sold this Chevy Malibu more than 8 months ago to a friend. In her car, we also found Keisha's banking statements and various account numbers, detailing weeks of direct deposits and money transfers.
Man, I've been messed up with IRS, like, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I am so happy that y'all found it.
Keisha isn't the only one who left critical information behind. We found a copy of this Middleburg man's driver's license. We found prescription lists and information from pharmacies, which includes the patient's name, address, and a glimpse into their medical history.
Do you think people underestimate the criminal mind?
I know that people underestimate the criminal mind.
Identity theft expert Kevin Johnson says obtaining something as simple as this college loan bill that we found is like hitting a home run for identity thieves. All that's on it is the student's name and address and account number and a bill for $6,700.
I could pretend to be that debt collector, call her up. I have enough information here to call her. I can say, hey, I'm with ACT. You received a bill from us. We haven't heard back from you. You owe us almost $7,000, but if you pay it right now, we'll knock it down to $5,000. We'll settle for $5,000. Do you have a credit card? And now you take the money.
Let's take this hospital discharge paperwork, which I also found inside of a junk car. It has the patient's name, her address, and an invoice is attached, which reveals that a woman named Jessica, who lives in Green Cove Springs, is relying on her primary insurance company to pay for her hospital visit.
We literally could call them up, pretend to be the hospital, say, hey, we've had a problem with your paperwork. We're not sure how it happened, but we don't have all the information we need to process this through your insurance. If you can give that to us, great. If not, we're very sorry. We're going to have to bill you directly, and you're going to be responsible for $30,000 worth of expenses, but your insurance could handle it. So could you tell me what your Social Security number is?
According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, an identity theft occurs every 2 seconds somewhere in the country. Obtaining a government document, like a driver's license, is the most common way thieves get access to identities, including their credit cards, banking information, and loans. A new study reveals the medical sector now has more identity theft than any industry. It's also the hardest identity theft to uncover because patients rarely review their status until they get sick. Other key pieces of information that can lead to your identity being stolen: your passport number, your mother's maiden name, and where you were born. As for Keisha, theft experts say with the information she left behind, someone could assume her identity in a matter of hours.
We can become her. So right now, I could fill out requests for credit cards as her. I can put in a change of address form so that all of her mail came to me so that she wouldn't even know, right, that she was getting this stuff. It would just be, things would stop coming to her mailbox. She'd have to go deal with that. So yes, we could absolutely steal her identity.
Will this change the way that you protect your information?
Yes, yes it does, because I'm gonna make sure that all my accessories and everything be locked up.
The biggest mistake that people make when it comes to putting themselves at risk for junkyard identity theft is filling out an application for a job or perhaps a credit application and leaving that application in the car. It happens all the time. In fact, if you're watching this story, now is a good time for you to go through your glove compartment and your trunk and remove anything that could compromise your identification.
So there certainly are some things we can do.
Yes.
What about the junkyards? What are the junkyards doing to try and stop this from happening?
Well, you know, Florida leads the country in identity theft, according to the Better Business Bureau. So while you may not know or may not have known about junkyards being a criminal gold mine, the thieves themselves have been going there for years to see what they can find. All of the junkyards that we check with in Duval, Clay, and St. Johns counties, they all have the same policy. They cannot be held liable for anything left inside of the car. It is the responsibility of the person who leaves that car behind, who junks the car, or if you have an accident and your car is totaled, it's important to go back to that vehicle or have someone go back and make sure that that information is not there.
I'm going outside right now. I'm going to go check my
go to
car.
the car.
I'm sure. Thank you, Tarek.